going? Welcome to another episode of the Nod-Krai Archon quest. Alright, last time, while we were meeting with Lama to bring her the medicine, we saw the flowers change color. Oh, the friendly music of Aino's workshop is so nice. But yeah, the flowers change color, which led us to want to go visit with Columbina, because we know that the flowers and the Kuvaki in them responds to her feelings. And she was feeling weak at the time, and she needed some to restore her strength. So, when we went to see her, she was able to use the moon marrow to restore some of her strength, but also explain to us a little bit more about it, that it is indeed, it is like the core of the eternal moon, one of the moons that was destroyed long ago. She was also able to provide us with a lot of other really important intel. For example, nobody's been able to tell us about who's leading the wild hunt, or what all these strange wild hunt phenomena are, why they're getting so powerful and so organized, and who the shape-shifting phantom might be. She gave us the only clue that we have, which is that it most likely is related to Rerir, the Raker of Solnari, one of the 5 sinners of Conria, and one of the 5 sinners we know almost, we knew almost next to nothing about. In fact, I would still say that's the case, because we kind of get a sense of like the personality of some of the other sinners. But Rerir is not one of the ones that we've really gotten to know so far. The only thing we know is that all of the 5 sinners were incredibly powerful and incredibly dangerous individuals who, in their pursuit of power and knowledge that would have been forbidden to them, either intentionally or unintentionally, it's still not clear to me, caused the cataclysm in Conria 500 years ago, the source of so many disasters. Columbina told us that she heard from the Fatui that Rerir was said to have disappeared into the moon's reflection, and has something to do with the moon, the details of which not even she knows, even though she is the moon goddess. And for some reason, he may be seeking out the moon marrow now. So yeah, suddenly the stakes are a lot higher, because now we're not just dealing with a whole bunch of disorganized zombies. We're talking about one of the 5 sinners of Conria here. People you are not supposed to mess with at all. But it's okay, because apparently we have lots of great friends on our side, like Lama and Aino and Anefa, who are going to be helping us out. But also, we learned that Sori, the guy from the Lightkeepers who helped us repair Aino's cannon, the cannon in Nasha Town that blasts the wild hunt to bits, has been found murdered, which I felt really bad about, because I literally pointed out when Paimon was complimenting him, "You're such a nice guy." I was like, oh no, that's a sign that he's either super normal, gonna betray us, or going to die. And usually, the thing is, I said that, I thought he might betray us, but I thought to myself, this guy literally, I don't think... Did we just steal the crystal fly? We just stole the crystal fly thing right out of the Venus flytrap there. That's hilarious. I guess we should take out that chest over there. But yeah, I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to be right. I thought he might betray us, but he literally seemed too nice to have a reason to betray us. Unlike Wilhelmina from like the previous act, where I was like, I think there's a chance she betrays us, but I just didn't want to believe it. But nonetheless, I was prepared for that possibility. This guy seemed a lot nicer and with less reason to betray us. And so, nonetheless though, when it actually happened, I still felt bad that it happened. Anyway, now we're heading back to Nasha Town. We're gonna see what happened to him. How did he die? The Ratniki of the Lightkeepers, well, the Ratniki are the Lightkeepers, are conducting an investigation and have not allowed anybody else to go close to there. So, I just want to listen to the music. That's the end of the story. And defeat this random octopus here. Apparently, please, too short! No! It was an accident. Okay. Once again, the one guy who's not like a main attacker here, Albedo, the only survivor of the team. That having that defense super high sure comes in handy. I'm looking forward to when we see all of these characters in my team.
Although it's not gold.
In Nod-Krai scene. What is this way? Sorry, let's get distracted for a little bit. Yeah, forget about healing. Oh, are these like the equivalents of like the boars in this line? Oh my gosh. That was not super sick. No! They're all gonna drown. That was pretty funny actually. Yeah, that didn't really do anything. What is over here? Is there another world quest? So it looks like this is a puzzle we will need to solve at some point or another. However, there's the wild hunt. I think we should not go fight them. That's right. In the first, at the beginning when we were with Nefer, the sound. It's that same Lightkeeper guy from last time, or maybe it's an NPC that looks the same. Anyway, there was a map of where the wild hunt will appear. It looks like that's one of the spots. So yeah, let's see how it goes. You have to get super close to the statue here because thanks to the Fatui, they put this giant base around it, so you have to stand right up to it in order for it to provide healing. And not only that, it's really sad because, especially if you go to, not this one, but the one on Paha Isle, you literally can see the energy being drained from it. I feel so bad for Columbina. Like, does she actually... I wonder if... I mean, it sounds like she directly used her power to help the Fatui and the Saritsa some way. And that's how she became as tired and in need of recovering her energy as she is. With that being said, could the weakness that she feels right now, like the physical weakness, have something to do with the fact that the Fatui are draining her power via the statues?
This must be it. Oh, doesn't look like there's any chance of us getting in with that ratnik guarding the door, though. Should we go speak to the guard first?
Sure.
Might as well try squeezing blood from a stone.
So the answer to that is no.
Never! When did you...
I came over to take a look as soon as I received the news just now. Aino told you about this then?
Yes, while we were passing by the Kumkake workshop.
Before we start, shall we see if we've made the same guess?
Looks like the wild hunt is on the move.
Indeed. Quicker than we thought as well.
You know what though? We have a piece of intel that I'm certain not even Nefer has, which is the involvement of one of the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. Because like I said last time, like, almost nobody seems to know about the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. I presume there must have been an era in which everybody in Teyvat knew their names because they caused the cataclysm that, you know, troubled everybody. But there's also the possibility that nobody knew who caused the cataclysm and their names were never spread. And in either way, that was 500 years ago, and it's possible that knowledge has been mostly lost, considering we've only really learned about the 5 sinners from people who have direct contact with one of the 5 sinners. You know, Dane, obviously, but also Albedo telling us about Rhine-Daughter, and Skirk telling us about Sertology, and gathering bits and pieces about Vedderfulnir through the Archon quests. Yeah. That's intel we have that I'm sure Nefer hasn't gotten her hands on yet.
Keep your eyes peeled for any clues once we get in. No need to jump to conclusions.
But how are we supposed to get in at all?
Yeah, you know, if we're not squeezing blood from a stone, then how are we doing this? Break and enter? I don't want to commit more crimes at this point, but you know, whatever might need to be done to get the job done.
Just follow me.
Okay, we'll follow her lead. She knows what she's doing, and we just help her with what she's doing and get stuff in return, which is technically always...
I'm sorry, but
we
we're
seem
not
to
open
have
to guests right now.
similar interests. I know, we just want to pay our respects and give our condolences.
Sorry about that. They're here to investigate.
Oh, who are you?
All of them?
Yeah.
The paperwork checks out.
The paperwork. The paperwork?
All right then. Enter.
I love when they don't actually ask to see the paperwork. Did Nefer manage to do this, or is there some other insider that is helping us get in? I'm sure it was Nefer. I'm sure it was Nefer talking to some other insider. That's the answer. On the way upstairs to the crime scene, you briefly relate the information about the Raker of Solnari to Nefer. Yeah, that's a huge development in the case. No, he's dead!
Paimon might have said this before, Nefer, but you sure do come prepared.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I wasn't prepared for his body to still be there. I would have thought, a coroner would have taken him away by now. Are we that early into the crime scene? Should we really be... Have they done their crime scene investigation? Should we really be here now? Anyway, though. We're providing you this intel for free. In hopes of our future collaboration continuing on smoothly.
Shishich, my old friend. Fill us in, if you would.
Shishich, okay.
Greetings. If you would allow me. The murder happened not long ago. The Sergeant Major was killed by a single piercing strike from a polearm. We have performed a preliminary sweep of the crime scene to facilitate investigation. No obvious signs of a violent struggle. No damaged doors or windows. The culprit must have used some other means to enter the room unopposed before performing the deed.
It looks like the window is open and large enough for a person to crawl through. But, well, first of all, that's a lot that we're taking in from now. First of all, he was killed by a single strike. First off, for his sake, I hope that his suffering was very short and not prolonged. Secondly, that was somebody who knew exactly where to strike a person to have them die immediately from a single stab wound. So, that is not a good sign for us, because that means they are an expert of what they're doing.
Entering unopposed. So, do you think there's a chance that the culprit would usually have right of entry?
It could have been Rerir in disguise, like how he turned into Lumine. True.
At the moment, the most valuable lead we have is based on an eyewitness report from a nearby resident. Specifically, that Flint's was seen entering and leaving this place in the time period when the crime most likely occurred.
This is so Among Us. Do you think they're doing right now? On the same day that the Nod-Krai update was released, they also started the Genshin and Among Us collab, which if you log into Among Us, you get a free Paimon costume. Super cute, by the way. I logged into Among Us specifically only to get that costume. I've only ever played like an hour of Among Us ever. And I was pretty good at it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, this is so Among Us with the shape-shifting and everything. Because now we don't know if it's actually Flynn's or if it's the shapeshifter in disguise as Flynn's trying to frame Flynn's. This is so Among Us. Maybe it was even this guy who found the body and now is trying to deflect blame. Who knows?
Flint?
We have tried to contact him, but he has not replied.
Well, you guys don't really have cell phones, so if he's not interested in seeing your communication, he will probably just ignore it.
Very odd indeed.
So, he's the prime suspect right now, right?
Well, either he is the actual suspect, or he is just like Linny, in which case he needs the best lawyer in town, because I don't really know how you... because here we're talking about murder cases where it's so impossible to prove that somebody's been framed, and yet we managed to do it all the same.
To be honest, I'm not particularly inclined to believe that this was an inside job. Flint's can come across a bit eccentric, but he does well in missions on the whole. He also had no disagreements with the Sergeant Major that we know of. So he lacks the motive to commit such a terrible crime.
I agree.
But neither the eyewitness report nor the nature of the fatal wound itself are in his favor. So we are looking for him at present.
Yeah, it's not a good look. I mean, for all you know, he was talking with Sori when the murder happened, and for some reason he had to flee the scene, which is, once again, not a good look, but doesn't mean he did it. But we need to get all the facts. And most importantly, we need to find Flynn so we can hear his side of the story. Especially since we're not here to arrest him.
Looks like there's not much else to dig up here. Let's go outside and discuss what we've seen.
Agreed. The walls have ears.
So, the evidence points to Flint's, and he just so happens to have disappeared without a trace. A sticky situation indeed. We know that this Flint's could have been Rerir in disguise, but we lack the evidence to prove this to anyone else.
Yeah, and we don't really want to be talking about Rerir too much because that is 100% going to cause panic amongst the general populace.
Furthermore, Flint's has left us with many questions, all of which will require a reasonable explanation.
Agreed. What we really are missing is his side of the story, so we can narrow down if it was him, or someone else entirely, or a certain someone pretending to be Flynn's.
Yeah! He said he would report back to headquarters, but it seems he hasn't gone at all. What could he be doing?
The first time I met Flynn's, I did notice that there was something odd about his lantern. Some power concealed within it. Oh? Are you saying that I assumed that was something that might be common to all the Ratniki, though. But are you suggesting that is something that is unique to Flynn's lantern? Now that I think about it, that power was somewhat similar to abyssal energies I've encountered before. Interesting. Wait, you're not suggesting that... You're not suggesting that Flynn's... Hold on. What if Flynn's has also been Rerir this whole time? And we've never actually met the real Flynn's? Have we seen Lumine and Flynn's in the same room at the same time? No. As a matter of fact, do you remember when Lumine, or fake Lumine, who was probably Rerir, fake Lumine ditched us at the Moonmarrow hiding place, and then the Wild Hunt was there, and then Flynn's shows up and is like, "Oh, looks like the work here is done." And same with when Lumine disappeared at the Star Shoal, the shoal. I don't remember, Star something shoal. And she disappears, and the next thing I was like, "Oh, Flynn's is like, you guys dealt with the Wild Hunt already." What if we've never even met the real Flynn's? What if this has just been fake Flynn's the whole time, and we've never even met the real one? In the worst case scenario, Flynn's might be an entirely fabricated entity. Okay, hold on. Ether's going a step further than me, which is like, what if there was never a Flynn's to begin with, and the person that the other Lightkeepers have been interacting with has been Rerir this whole time? Whereas I'm just suggesting only the person that we've seen this whole time was actually Rerir, and there could still be a real Flynn's who's like locked up somewhere. But no, Ether's thinking the same kind of thing. What if there never was a Flynn's to begin with?
Let's approach the issue this way. First, we must determine our culprit. Was it Flynn's or Rerir in disguise?
Well, there's no real motive for Flynn's, or quote-unquote Flynn's. So, but there is a motive for the Wild Hunt. And what is that motive? I'm not exactly sure. Definitely to sow chaos and discord amongst the people. That definitely helps their cause. Anyway, it's far more likely to be Rerir than Flynn's.
Yeah. What reason would Flynn's have to murder Sosi anyway?
Oh, Sosi. I thought his name was Sori, but it's actually Sosi. Okay, sorry.
None, as far as I know. And even if he had a motive, it would have been easier to do so out in the wild, rather than in Nasha Town.
Agreed.
Yeah. They would have often gone out on missions together. Plenty of chances there.
Even if it were Rerir, though, his motives would be just as unclear.
Yes, but there's one thing worth noting here. Remember the intel we got back at the tavern? No one has ever seen a phantom that can take the form of other humans within the Wild Hunt.
Right.
This means that he has been hesitant to abuse this ability. or allow it to become common knowledge. Likely so that he could act in secret under other guises.
Or, like I said, he's so good at using it that nobody has noticed that the people they were talking to were not actually the people they were talking to. And maybe he has all the real people locked up somewhere so they can't be going around saying, "That wasn't me!"
But no matter what, borrowing identities comes with risks, right? What if you bump into the person you're imitating along the way?
Right, which is why Aether brings up, what if there's no Flynns to begin with? What if it's only Rare? No, there has to be Flynns. Like, this is breaking the fourth wall. There has to be a real Flynns, if only because Flynns is a playable character. Unless they're gonna go the route of Flynn/Rare, but I highly doubt that. And Flynns has to be his own person, which means he might be a real person locked up somewhere while Rare has been impersonating him. Or maybe the whole time it has been the real Flynns. He just has some connection to abyssal power anyway, which made him a really easy person for Rare to disguise himself as to commit this murder. And the rest of the time, we actually have been talking about real... No, but I think there's something suspicious about the fact that he only shows up as soon as fake Lumine disappears. Except for the first time we met him. That's been pretty much the case, right?
Precisely. In other words, his goal must have been worth the risk. Similar to how he came in disguise to obtain the moon marrow.
Mm-hmm.
He likely knew then that the real Flints would not appear and get in his way during this time.
And why was he able to determine that?
We'd have to ask Flints ourselves, I'm afraid.
That's
But
what
we
I mean.
shouldn't jump
What
to
if
any
he's locked up
conclusions
somewhere?
here. We can't discount the possibility that he might actually be the murderer himself.
Yeah.
Not yet, at least.
We need to ask him some questions.
And there are other, less likely scenarios. For instance, Rarier may have already killed Flints long ago and been living with
Right.
him for some time now.
I know, that's what I mean. It's like... Anyway. Yeah, I mean... That's the thing also, is like, I mean, if you're impersonating somebody and you don't want the real person going around telling people, "That wasn't me," or running into the real person, you have to somehow eliminate them from the equation, whether that be killing them or keeping them in prison somewhere where they cannot talk to other people. Which is why it's so risky for him to impersonate Lumine, because I'm assuming there's no chance he has Lumine locked away somewhere. She's the princess of the Abyss Order. There's literally no way that would happen without us knowing. If the princess of the Abyss Order gets kidnapped. So that means he's taking a risk that she's not going to interfere with him. Or, furthermore, what if he knows for certain she wouldn't interfere with him because he's spoken to her? It wouldn't be... And that's also, I mean, Lumine hasn't shared much about her life in Conria. But the thing is, she might actually know all of these people, like, personally. So, like, them talking to each other might actually not be out of the, like, as strange of a thing as one might think. Like, them communicating. Or maybe he just took a chance that she wouldn't show up and be like, "Hey, why are you impersonating me?" But I think it's more likely he knew for some reason she would not interfere. And the reason would not be because it's not the Traveler Archon quest, and thus she only appears then. It's not because of the fourth wall breaking answer that he knows she only appears during the Traveler Archon quest. Okay. We have to find him.
Yes, that is our ticket to a breakthrough.
Then we've got to find him before the Lightkeepers do, or we might never see him again.
Steady now. Our friend should be back soon.
Oh?
We've tracked him down to a beach north of Nasha Town. The Wild Hunt is present too, so we're putting a force together. I'll have you know that this is top secret information I'm leaking here.
Well, I'm sure you will be well rewarded for that by Nefer.
Don't worry. You'll receive a top-class reward
Exactly.
in return. The beach is all yours. I'll stay and slow the Lightkeepers down. Things might go south if you bump into one another.
Understood.
Alright, before we go, should we reveal Rarier's secret?
To who?
Since he's trying to keep it all hush-hush, why don't we just pull the curtains on his little trick? That'll teach him to sneak around pretending to be other people.
So he can't do it anymore? But if the problem is he will just murder somebody. Okay, so here's the thing. We're probably not going to see Sosi walking around because everybody knows he's dead. Or at least enough people know he's dead that... Well, that's the thing, is the Lightkeepers are keeping this under the table right now. I think if more people know, there's a less likely chance he can use Sosi as a disguise. But if he can just kidnap somebody and then take their place, it'll be much harder to figure out, even if you tell people there's a shapeshifter going around. No?
Hey, why are you laughing?
Oh, I was just imagining how satisfying that would feel. But I'm afraid this revelation would only stir up more chaos.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is it's not useful because I don't think that would help. I think it would just cause more fear. And I doubt that most ordinary people would be able to tell that they're talking with a shapeshifter.
Setting aside the matter of evidence, some may trust Flint's on our account, whereas others would suspect him on account of his behavior. Tossing him into a swirling tumult of public opinion like that might just give Rarier more opportunities to capitalize on. And think about it. Once people learn that he can masquerade as those they trust, would they continue to welcome friends into their homes with such open hearts?
That's true. Then Revere is trying to destroy Nod-Krai in more ways than one. Destroying the way of life here indeed would be something that would be a byproduct of sowing fear into people's hearts like this.
Unease grips the hearts of those in Nasha Town already.
Yeah.
We should avoid throwing more fuel onto the fire.
We can tell that, like, people are relieved that there's a cannon here, but they're genuinely afraid of losing their lives or livelihoods or their families. So let's just try to deal with this wild hunt problem so people don't have anything to worry about. And what do we do once we have Rarier, like, once we defeat him? Do we, like, take him into custody? Like, what do we do in this case? I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're right. You've really thought of everything, huh? Nothing for it, then. We've just gotta find Flint's.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. But just in case, let me stress once more. We should neither be excessively afraid of Rarier, nor trust in Flint's too lightly. This light source is of special Lightkeeper design. It provides illumination within wild hunt anomalies, and can briefly dispel the abyssal fog within.
Oh, right. We'll have to deal with that mess, too. Yeah, this'll be important. Thanks a bunch, Nefer.
Thank you, Nefer.
You're welcome. I've charged it to your account, by the way.
Thanks. Thankfully, we're 100 million more rich, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Hey, you!
Well, I'm sure it's not as much as the 1.25 million desert survival package Dory tried to sell us that one time. This might actually be much more useful. Once again, just enamored by the rain here. It's so beautiful. Where is this? I can become a cool hanky. Where is this Lunoculus? Is it under here? Okay, under bullseye. What is it? Is it this? Wait, let us jump. Oh, it's this. Okay. Well, why not? At the beginning, the commissions are still fun. Once you've done them 100 times, maybe not so much. But at the beginning, they are genuinely fun little mini games to do. Alright, where is this Lunoculus? That you promise is around here somewhere. Oh, it's probably in these boxes. Okay, sky getting dark over here. Maybe we should get this waypoint first. You know, that might be kind of important. Oh, what are those? Those creatures. You know what? I always forget about the nets. We can... Oh? They look a little bit like... Oh, that didn't work. That totally didn't work. They look a little bit like the Bake Dainoki in Inazuma without the cute faces. Okay, sure. We're at full health. Yeah, it's not like we need all of this health anyway. Surely there's no fight coming up ahead that I need to be at full strength for.
You're dead. Upon the gale. Everything was futile.
Yep. Everything was futile. I can't wait for them to release the soundtrack on streaming. I just want to listen to this all day.
Burst forth.
Go, go. Do that. Do this.
Jeez, you're picking on me.
No! How dare you hurt Klee? Klee, did you see that big cannon earlier? I hope you did. Enjoy. No, no, Klee, I was literally trying to click on Beetle's burst. No, Klee.
Although it's not gold, it certainly glitters.
Well, let me just quickly go over to just over here. You know, once again, like the base around this statue is so wide. I have to go all the way up to it. But also, do you see like there's literally streams of light coming off of Columbina's figure? They're literally draining her energy into their mechanism. And I just wonder if that's weakening her even more. Okay. Waypoint acquired.
The soil is moist, ideal for collecting the roots of boom blossoms. No, please, allow me to handle this.
What are boom blossoms? That's not something we've ever seen in this game. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. That's the answer to my question. I want the Lunoculus. Will I be able to get it before the quest starts? Why? Okay, once again, I was talking about this geology last time, these rock formations. What causes this? What causes the rocks to be formed like this? We saw this in another part as well. I mean, this is also something to do with the moons? I don't think so, but just look at... It's just a really interesting rock formation. It's realistic. There's some places where I'm sure the rocks are like this. And then, of course, to go over to the Kuvaki Experimental Design Bureau. I don't know, is there a waypoint of it? Yeah, you could, like, the moon surface actually looks like the moon's surface. Like, that's crazy that they pulled the moon to the earth. Okay. No more co-op.
Is that a Lightkeeper's lantern? Is there someone up ahead? Come
No.
on, let's go see.
Guys, no. Oh, do you? No. Okay, hold on.
Dodoko, where are you?
This is not a bit. That actually made me jump. Last time I was talking about, what you should do is put this dark purple haze, and suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, the Wild Hunt's pretty scary, but scary cool. To like, okay, now everything's actually scary.
So heavy.
Yeah. Seeing Klee and thinking about sunshine and rainbows and the Golden Apple Archipelago was making me feel bad. That actually made me jump. I was just about to say the Wild Hunt is so much more terrifying when they put that filter on, because until they get super close to you, you can only see the flame on their head. And when they get super close, then you see the outline of their body. And they have like these really like scary movements because they're basically zombies. But I didn't realize it would just like
These bombs
jump
so
at me like
heavy.
that, like with the teleport. No, like I think I've made myself very clear. I am a person that's extremely easy to scare or frighten with the horror genre. I understand this is probably very mild for lots of people. However, that
Dodoko? Dodoko, where
Okay.
are you?
that's okay. You know what? Anywhere Dodoko goes, we're safe. Oh my gosh, I don't. No, don't do that, please. When they do that teleporting motion, please blast them to bits, Klee. Oh, and they literally make like undead sounds. Please stop it. Stop it. Stop it, please. Stop talking. Stop making noise. The music. Oh my gosh, we're not. This is not like Plants vs. Zombies. Like, this is. You need to actually watch out kind of zombies. And the music too, it's just this. Like, it makes your. See, this is exactly what I mean. I was like, where is it? It's like, you only see a flame in the darkness when they have this filter on until you get close to it, and then it jumps at you.
Come into being. The wind rises.
Please go away. I don't like this. I don't know if you can tell. I really don't like this.
Gaze upon me.
I was like, one, I was. The sounds. Like, I don't like zombies. Zombie stuff is
The
actually.
monster was lurking near the lamp. That must have been a planned ambush. We're not falling for that again.
Like, pretty much like. Yeah, zombies are up. Especially the more realistic you make things. Obviously, then it gets more scary. But zombies are definitely. It's like a concept I don't even want to ever have in my brain, really. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. I mean, okay, it's fun for me. This is an experience I don't usually have, but it's it actually makes me shudder. Like
There's something inside it. Some small device.
a light bulb, Paimon.
Huh? Why isn't it giving off light anymore? Is it broken? We better take it with us.
This sounds like such like a horror thing. Like, huh, why'd the lights turn off? Like, like this was not scary until they put the filter on. And then I was like, oh, it's actually terrifying, but it's in a cool way. What is
The
this?
fight took place here. Did
Yeah.
Flint leave these marks?
That definitely looks like Electro. Especially, lunar charged Electro. I'm literally treading carefully because I'm trying to make sure I don't see any zombies. Guys, I'm actually afraid of getting jump scared. I've never been. This game has never been.
There. Please help me.
Isn't that Flint's voice?
Oh
Did you hear
no.
that? But is that really?
I know, that's exactly what I'm thinking. If it's the real Flint's, we have to save him. If it's not the real Flint's, we're in big trouble. You know, zombies and all that. No.
We'll be in trouble if these spooky shadows touch us. Quick, use the lantern.
What even are these? You see those flowers hanging off of... I get the point. Okay, the lamp. The lamp. Like these hanging flowers here? Like with the glowy... No? What just hit us? Oh my gosh. They're moving so slow. No? Let me move! Let me move! No! Guys. What is it? The music is maximum scary. This whole time, I just want to say, those hanging flowers there look like ghouls with this filter on. Sorry, can you explain to me what I'm supposed to do with the lantern again?
Shadows touch us! Quick, use the lantern!
Nope, I skipped the tutorial. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. You'll be lost to the black mist forever. Please don't say that. Continuously shine the light from Nefer's lamp on the ghostly shadows to dispel them before they get too close. They move so slow. Yeah, they move so slowly. But I have to like literally look around me because apparently they come from directions I'm not even aware of. Or in this case, they're all coming from the same direction. It's okay. Those flowers, they're blue. They're not ghouls. They're pretty. Maybe they're even Columbina's flowers. See? They're giving off the Kuvaki. You know, they know what they're doing. They never get rid of the UI. They got rid of the UI. So, and they put the camera super close to the traveler's head to like maximize the first person feeling in a third person game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, just follow the lightning. Just follow the quest. No, see that these ones are moving fast? Please stop. No, 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 turn the right way, Aether. No, guys. I want to just... They took away the UI, so I can't even pause the game to freak out. Guys, this is not a joke. I'm actually... They encapsulated perfectly one of the most scary things in horror that I'm aware of, which is the Fey language? Okay. Flynn's?
Hand it over.
Oh my no.
Mine from the
No,
first.
no, no, no.
You're a fool.
Aether! My savior!
What the? It's stronger than before.
The lantern?
Lantern now!
Oh, like, oh my gosh, guys. What the?
It
What?
escaped again.
What?
This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
No, not really.
So, you were tangling with Rarer out here
Yeah.
all by yourself.
Other than it being very clear that you are not Rare, and you're not dead. And that doesn't mean though that... Okay. First, let me finish my thought from earlier. They perfectly encapsulated one of the things I fear the most in horror, which is the scary thing slowly moving, slowly turning their head at you, making eye contact. Thought that those shadows didn't have eyes, but the metaphorical eye contact was still there, and rushing you. So like Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like, do you know what I mean there? Like, that's one of the most terrifying concepts to me, is something like it's not looking at you, and then it looks at you, and then rushes you with like And of course in Five Nights at Freddy's there's the scream too. It's like that is terrifying to me. Like I have not I wanted the pause button there so bad. I wanted to just, I'm not gonna lie, I literally had like a fight, flight, or freeze response. I wanted to just freeze and cry and curl up in a ball and let them just kill me. Thank goodness this is a video game and not real life. I would hope that fleeing would be the primary response in real life. Okay, that's point number 1. Point number 2. Aether, my savior! You're the best. I love using a protagonist who's clearly much braver and willing to take action in a terrifying situation than me. He was so valiant. Can I be the one to say it? When they released the trailer with Flynn's, the Gamescom trailer, and then Aether's walking through the graveyard, and then Flynn comes to save him. But really, the whole time I was thinking, wow, Aether looks so cool, just walking through this dangerous graveyard, and when he sees the Wild Hunt, he just pulls out his sword. He's ready to fight if Flynn's wasn't there. Like, he's ready to do it. Thank you, Aether. My savior. You're the true savior. Okay, all praise goes to Aether. Literally feeling so safe now because of him. Because he had a handle on that situation. Did we ever think, after so many years of talking about, and then especially in the past year, talking about Rhine-Daughter and Elegy and Vetterfulnir, that Rerir would be the first of the 5 sinners to actually appear in the game? And show their face to us? We didn't even realize last time with Lumine that he already did. But wow. That was a terrifying battle. He literally looked like he was all bandaged up. Which follows what we know about people from Conria who are facing the curse of immortality. Pretty much all of them cover themselves completely up. Like, think about the Abyss Heralds and Capitano and the Black Serpent Knights in the Chasm. They completely cover themselves, and then only Dane gets to show his face because he has some kind of like object from his brother that lets him stay young forever and not just look like a husk as all the other people suffering from immortality from Conria are supposed to look like. Which in that case, it doesn't, I mean, the only difference then is between them and the Hilly Trolls is they get to talk and the Hilly Trolls don't. Otherwise, it really seems like everybody in Conria are equally lost. That was a cool fight. Most of all, I'm still thinking about how cool Aether was in that fight. The courage he has to block Rerir's attack like that and duel him. Good teamwork between Aether and Flynn's. Glad we could help out. What does Fey language mean? And is that based on a real language? Because I was thinking, like, is that supposed to be, like... Well, yeah, is that based on a real language, or did they invent a language for this game? I suppose we will learn more about that soon enough. Why am I seeing 2 floating things in this? I'm assuming one of those is Ochka Natlan and the other one is Celestia in the background. Sorry, I don't know if you noticed this. I get super distracted by stuff in the background. And what was up with Flynn's lantern? Why did we need to toss it at Rerir? And if we were tossing it at Rerir, why were we scared of him picking it up? And also, what happened there? Also, like I said, like that purple, like dark filter changes this game so much. Like this right now is the same environment, but I'm not scared of it at all. It just looks rainy and melancholy. But it does, but literally, oh, I did not expect, like, there were other things in this game I thought were kind of scary, but I think that just topped all of them. Is anything to do with the Wild Hunt and that filter, and the game forcing us to move extremely slowly while terrifying things are going to turn and charge at us really quickly in that fashion. And you seem to not be able to stop it. This is not at all a complaint. This is, hey, the game did its thing very well. I just was not emotionally prepared for this. Okay, I'm emotionally prepared though to continue with the story.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the wild hunt has a name of his own.
Yeah, we'll explain. There's a lot to explain. Let's find a spot to rest first.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid.
No problem. If anything, we need to find some answers from you. But I don't think he is our enemy. I just need him to tell us what he knows. But more than that, you just seem like a nice guy that we should save.
To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so.
Right. Oh, is that what happened? Well, Aether can purify abyssal corruption, so good thing it was us who came to your aid. Aether, you're the best.
Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities.
I don't think I understand it either. Just my constitution. Yeah. It's just... if I could explain it to you, I would. But we can't. That's a really other interesting point, too. Is... we love going on side tangents here. Is Lumine, as the Princess of the Abyss Order, commands abyssal power. So we're sort of like her opposite in that we purify abyssal energy. What is there some bigger meaning to that? We're like the antidote to her power. And the power of everything to do with the abyss. And does this tie in at all with our powers as a descender? In fact, they consider us to be a descender. They don't consider everybody to be a descender. Like, Skirk is not considered a descender, even though she's from outside this world. But the only commonality between us and the previous 3 descenders, or more specifically, the only commonality between the 3 previous descenders that we know is that they were essentially stronger than gods, with the 3rd descender's remains becoming the Gnosis. So if they already consider us a descender, and that's a title that has to be earned and is not just given, I shudder to think what that actually means for us in terms of A, what Aether either isn't telling us or doesn't know about himself, or B, what's going to happen to him in the future. Okay.
And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
I know. I would teach you if I could.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on wild hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out.
Okay.
I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios. And curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern.
I mean, why not?
Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there.
He's just like us, for real. You know how many times we've gathered like, ooh, I need to pick up this random gear. Oh, I need to pick up this random core. And we just gather stuff and it's like suddenly, oh, you can merge all these objects together to get the key for like, say like that one like Archeum thing in Fontaine, for example. Or there was the key to some Ruin Guard thing in Sumeru. Or look how many times we've done that. So he knows what's up. Just keep collecting stuff until it just randomly fits together. True adventurer.
It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
So why did you keep it in your lantern?
Is that what Rarer claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then.
Okay, so he's after Moon Marrow and also after whatever is in Flynn's lantern. Definitely trying to get some kind of power back. I mean, it sounds like this is power he's familiar with.
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely.
You've beaten him several times? Has he... Are you like child fighting the whale for like months and months? Have you been out here fighting him this whole time?
But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer.
Okay.
Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him.
Yeah, that's not good. Because if he was one of the 5 centers of Conria, then he's only using a fraction of his power at this point. And who knows if he could exceed the power he once had if he's gaining strength. Not a good sign for us. If this object is contaminated by the abyss, why carry it on your person?
And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away?
I guess we can just become a repository for all the dangerous objects in Nod-Krai. I am interested to know if Aether could somehow purify it.
Were our places switched, would you discard it? Knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp.
Probably not.
Yeah. Throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes.
Happy to help.
Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rerir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
We're happy you're alive. You briefly tell Flynn's about Revir's murder of Sosi and about the subsequent attempts to frame him.
I see.
I see. Can you think of a reason why Revir would try to frame you?
To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is we got the intel to find you here from a Lightkeeper, yet nobody's actually arrived here yet. How did we get here so fast? Or did everybody get caught up with the zombie invasion?
They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
Which would be now.
You mean this thing?
Oh! Oh, okay, I see. Thank you, Nefer.
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
Wait, what? Okay, so this is not Nefer's lantern. This is the one we picked up. Wait, okay. Never mind. Why is it lying on the ground?
It must belong to a Ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Yeah, at least you're not dead too, because that they fled instead of trying to rescue you, but Hey, you know what? Considering how scared I just got, I don't really blame them. Or at least I can't be the one to hold them to fault when... okay, anyway.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast then. But if Ruru could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kavaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this Rurir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission.
Yeah.
Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh.
That makes me even more sad.
But every year they would say, "Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer." He often wondered if it was because he was lacking somehow. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss?
Yeah.
So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see.
That's so sad. Like, he seemed like he could have been old enough to retire and go home. The fact that he didn't then meant that despite everything, despite this essentially corporation not really giving him an easy time transferring in and out of the position he wants, he still felt that there was value for him to stay and keep helping their cause. I mean, it's a volunteer-based organization too, right? Like, they're like volunteer firefighters. So he still continued to put his life on the line even though he didn't get to see his family because of it. And exactly what I was thinking. It's like, I don't want the fact that he's so nice to mean that he's gonna die. I still feel so guilty about that. It's not my fault. It's just always like that knowing what you know kind of thing. And as someone who's simply, I mean, you play as a character in this game, but you're the outside viewer, realizing you're helpless to stop what's already been written. Yeah. It's a tragic story.
One that has played out many times throughout history.
Yes.
Another reason to take this Rurir's head.
Agreed.
Oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And we also know what he looks like, too. At least, I'm assuming that appearance is not an impersonated appearance. That kind of lines up with what we'd expect somebody from Conria to look like if they were not completely covered like they typically are. He's completely bandaged to hide the withered parts of them.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
I know, right? He did nothing to deserve this other than it just worked out for the bad guy's plan. It's so tragic.
Could Rarer be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime?
I mean, yes, but you are a suspect in this case, and we can't tell everybody about Rare yet. So it's gonna be really hard to convince people that it wasn't you because we don't have the alibi set up fully yet.
We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on. Let us be on our way.
This is also not a great look for us. Oh, there's a teleport waypoint. Eye of Karate. Okay. Oh, the rain went away. I don't need to destroy Hilly Trail Towers. I've been destroying Hilly Trail Towers for a long time, let's just say. The Hilly Trails can keep their towers. Thank you very much. I'm interested in if there's any Nod-Krai commissions that involve like, any other characters. What is going on here? You know what? I'm gonna mark this as a quest thing because there's like a 90% chance if I talk to... Oh, this Selenic Chronicles unlocked. Oh. There's like a 90% chance if I talk to that guy, it starts a world quest. And I don't think we need to do that right now. It's very instant. Yeah, I'm just sad. We can break in the same way the murderer did, but that's really not a good look for us.
I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And
yeah,
how are we supposed to do that?
What does that mean?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Sure. Okay, goodbye.
Still acting all mysterious. But he seemed pretty confident, so guess we've got to trust him.
Hi. It's us again.
Hello.
Ah, you're the special assistants for this investigation, right?
Yep, you saw us earlier.
Yep, that's us.
That's us. Sorry, I know it's a bit late, but there's a couple things we'd like to take a look at.
You're just in time. We're basically done investigating the crime scene. All that's left is to finish writing up some records. Then properly dispose of Sergeant Major Sosi's remains.
Well, dispose is quite the word to use. I think there's some more appropriate words to be used for this situation. But I suppose Lightkeepers who guard graveyards might think otherwise.
If there's anything else you'd like to look into, this is your last chance to do so.
Find anything new?
Sadly, no. The motive behind the killing remains a mystery. And while we somehow managed to get news of Flint's, an unexpected accident caused us to miss him.
Ah, what happened?
But considering that Nefer from the Curatorium of Secrets came forward to help investigate, I have no doubt that a breakthrough's not far off.
Okay. Expert use of delaying tactics on her part. Excellent work.
We'll do our part too. Alright, we're going in. See you later.
Thank you. Once there was who hunted the moon. Interesting, okay.
Phew, we're in. Thanks to Nefer's reputation, once again.
I'm still thinking about how she said we're gonna dispose of the remains. First of all, that's a suspicious thing to say at a crime scene of a murder, like disposing of a body. But second of all, if you're talking about, if it's not suspicious and you're just talking about your colleague, like, you know, lay him to rest, you know, send him on to the next there's disposing just seems like such a cold word to use for somebody who was clearly remembered as this really as a good leader and the kind of person people wanted to follow, and somebody who was, you know, like, wanted to just go back to his family and cared about other people and showed empathy, and that's what I'm looking for. Just an overall great person. It just seems like a very strange thing to say, but once again, when you're talking with lightkeepers who live isolated lives generally, and maybe it's only Flynn's who guards the graveyard, but anyway, they generally seem to live pretty isolated lives. Maybe that's not weird to them.
But we still know nothing about how Flint's is gonna enter, or how we'll pick him up. Never mind how we'll leave later on. Something the matter?
Once again, don't they have a coroner that needs to take the body away? There's a strange light by the window.
Huh. That looks like Flint's lantern. But where is he exactly?
Oh, animal. I love when he can switch the powers at will, because we can't do that.
Well, we've got the lantern. What now?
I think Flynn's can put himself into the lantern. I think that's one of his idle animations. Yeah, like that.
Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
Now that's what I call going incognito. Yeah, it almost makes him more suspicious as a murder suspect.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
Thank you.
The perks of being veteran adventurers, huh?
What you just did, surely that can't be accomplished through elemental power alone.
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own.
Yeah, because if he was just invisible, I'm sure Aether would have noticed.
But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment.
Okay.
Our time is limited after all.
Once again, I just think there's something not right about just leaving the body there. Like, there's something really undignified about that. Like, usually at a crime scene, they'll take the body away pretty early on. And that's where they draw the chalk line, right? It's very bizarre to me that the last thing they are gonna do is take the body away. Who's that on the poster on the ground there?
Just as I thought. Come, try sensing
Oh my gosh,
it
it's
yourself.
the Fontaine investigation music. It's very faint, but there is some residual power near the wound that feels identical to the abyssal energy that surged from Flynn's lantern.
Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the wild hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
Yeah, that's about the only motive I can determine at this point, too.
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Noshatown.
Yeah.
He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned.
They said that the crime scene investigation is already complete. There should no longer be a need to keep this place exactly as is.
Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace.
However, despite a very thorough search, a few new clues emerge.
When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
If we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ugh, this is so frustrating!
Is that all? Have we really tried every angle? Found every clue? What is it, Aether? Paimon, look at the flashing light on his arm.
You mean this?
That's right, he has a metal
I'm
arm
not
like
well versed
Yehuda
in
too.
machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
This is the only reason they left the body here. Is so we would see this. And by they, I mean the writers, not the Lightkeepers. Because once again, I don't feel like this is standard protocol to just leave the body.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon.
Wait, you're right. It's like one flash, and then pause, and then 2 rapid flashes, right? And that meant that there was something wrong with the component.
It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance. So the device has stopped operating.
Yeah.
But the real problem is that...
When we were fixing the cannon, his arm was working just fine.
Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port.
Yeah.
Could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
Right, it's not because it's been damaged, it's because it needs routine maintenance. Is there a chance it just happened to need routine maintenance after fixing the cannon?
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
Oh my gosh. That's... I didn't even consider that possibility. But you're onto something there. And what if he killed Sosi because he was pretending to be Sosi and then the real Sosi encountered him and said, "Hey, why is there somebody who looks like me?" And then he killed him and took Flynn's appearance to get away. Or something to that extent, but you're right. I mean, what if it's also just that he happened to need maintenance as soon as we left?
That's right! If only there was some way to prove it.
If something needed maintenance, you'd go register it with Nasha Town's repairman. Oh, and the repairman is the engineer guy we talked with earlier at the tavern, right?
You mean Hintsa?
Yeah, him.
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
And he was also helping Nefer with intel, so...
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves.
Okay.
Yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
Dude. What? Oh yeah, nothing of note except we're just carrying this lantern around with us. Moonside Shift Ascendant Gleam. I don't actually know what that means if you don't have Nod-Krai characters in your team.
Oh, it's you two. And Flint's. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
Yeah, pretty much. End of the world and all that.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true?
Oh no, word's already gotten out.
You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you. Yeah, because like if you heard that Sosi was murdered, you might have also heard that Flynn's was the murder suspect. But he's probably thinking, well, it's 2 a.m. Sure, Flynn's is here, but so is the Traveler. I'm sure the Traveler would stop him from murdering me. so I'm sure there's no problem. I'll just pretend I saw nothing, which is honestly just 2 a.m. vibes. This is another example of do not do this in real life. This is 100% video game thinking. If a murder suspect shows up at your house at 2 a.m. in real life, this is probably not how casual you should be about it. But in a video game, it's totally fine and expected.
Thank you for your understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her.
Mm-hmm.
As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward.
Right, because it's his arm, and he needs that to work.
And I understood. Completely. Not being able to use your hand.
Exactly.
That's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other.
Really? Then what was he doing then?
What's with those faces? Everything all right?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
Yeah, that's a huge development. So 3 days ago, they looked for him and he already was missing then. But if he was missing then, how would he be back in town just to get murdered? There's something about that time frame. Well, there's a lot about that time frame we need to get to the bottom of.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
You can go back to sleep now.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
Thank you. I hope he's not Rare in disguise.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise.
If not for the fact that they saw Flynn's escaping the crime scene, or quote-unquote Flynn's, I would think that he's been dead for more than 3 days, and that corroborates my theory that Rerir would kill somebody to take their place, so that way that person's not around to, you know, say anything to oppose that. But that doesn't sound like what's happened. It sounds like he was murdered recently, in which case, where was he during that time frame so that Rerir could impersonate him without him being able to argue against it? And what happened then that triggered Rerir to murder him?
8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm.
I imagine he probably wouldn't know what the light means even if he did look. Because we had to flip through that ginormous manual to figure it out.
Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
I mean, we don't know how shape-shifting works, but if he's just doing it based entirely on, I look at a person and it's become them, then yeah, that's an extremely easy detail to miss. Versus if it's like, oh, I'm gonna touch this person and somehow create like a computer copy, like perfect image copy of them, then I'll be a little bit more suspicious. But I'd assume shape-shifting is just like he just looks at the person and takes their appearance.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm is actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
So that means the only thing he did as Susie was fire the cannon. You're right. What would that mean? Why would he do that?
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the Wild Hunt, and it works as intended.
Yeah.
But how would that help Rerir exactly?
You would think that would be counterproductive to his goal. If Rerir was, say, somebody like, oh, like we know of him and he's trying to deflect like responsibility or deflect suspicion on him, then he came and fixed the cannon and used it to fire the wild hunt, then I'd understand. Yo, yeah, he's just trying to make it look like he's not involved with the wild hunt. But that's not the situation we're in. Nobody knows about Rerir. He never showed his actual face when repairing the cannon. So there must be something about the action of firing the cannon on the wild hunt that actually helped him. But what would that be if he's the one who's organizing the wild hunt and trying to... I love this game. I love getting so into this game. Oh my gosh.
Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
You're right, yeah.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another.
It's counterproductive to all the motive that we know of that he has. So there must be some other motive we are not aware of.
This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy too.
We've been on edge for too long, it seems.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate.
Yeah.
We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Agreed. I should also get some more sleep too.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
Want to rest a day in Nasha Town? Your residence is quite far away.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
What a chill way to diss a ton of people.
Well,
but
guess we'll just
true.
have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
Okay. What are we doing then? Oh yeah, we need 2 rooms. One for us and one for Paimon. And they're like, do you really need 2 rooms?
Phew, back inside.
There's still a
We can
guy
finally
standing in the
take a
hallway.
breather. Okay, Paimon.
And out.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here.
Yeah.
Ah, the nostalgia.
Oh, I agree.
Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time?
That's true. Aether did notice something at that point. Yes, which is why I asked you to give it to me.
I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight.
Oh, you flatter me.
Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
I'm still not sure why he needs to keep it inside his lantern. Other than it's super cool looking. I mean, you could keep it in a satchel. Or, anyway.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
Rerir seems fixated on you, and you on him.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a light keeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
Okay, you gotta know more than that.
Yeah, you're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
Yep. And similarly to how Linny and Lynette, this is how they had to tell us they were from the House of the Hearth. Because when we were trying to help them to undo being framed for a murder, you are in a similar situation right now, so you might need to, I'm sorry, give us more. I always feel bad. It's like, I don't want to ask for their personal details, but like, we are kind of your lawyers in this situation, trying to prove your innocence to a murder you did not commit. And just like in that situation, we need the full picture here.
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty. whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust.
Okay.
Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough. You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits.
Are you saying you're not human?
But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of
Wait.
non-humans.
No, I was kidding. Are you actually saying you're not human?
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae?
No.
This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
I see. So you're saying you're a fae in human form.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands.
I'm actually not familiar with this part of the lore. Otherwise, I feel like I would have a huge 10-minute spiel to go off of on here again. But I'm interested to hear about it from him. This is another development, and it also explains a lot if he's not a human, but rather a non-human entity who still seeks to live amongst humans and protect them all the same.
When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless. Would it not be better, then, to simply sink?
Flins?
But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while. But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the final night cemetery.
I see. And that's why he guards over that place. That's why you chose to become a lightkeeper.
Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them. So joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done. Nonetheless, there are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Canon.
Right, if they let you back in to see the records, considering you're still, a murder suspect.
Well, you need us to get you where you need to be.
Oh yeah, true, you have us.
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
Right, which you just implied was under a search warrant, and they would have already been through there, and could possibly find you there in the future.
Can you even go back there right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Will there be Ratniki watching it?
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed.
Why
All
not?
things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout.
Because you would think he would, if you can't find Flynn's, he would eventually come back to his own house, right? Not to mention, it's still kind of suspicious for us to, like I said, we're booking 2 rooms in the hotel, and we were carrying a lantern around with us, and What, did we just say Paimon needs a room of her own? I'm worried they're gonna come check here as well. Anyway, though, it sounds like he has a plan.
And even
okay.
if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own house, after all.
All right then, we'll trust you.
Yeah.
We sure ended up chatting for a while, huh?
Yeah.
I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier now that we know you better.
Yeah. I feel like we're... Yeah. Easier to become friends with somebody when we don't have to keep secrets from each other. That being said, secrets sometimes need to be kept. But I think we know you a little bit better now. I can definitely say you weren't the murderer, so...
I didn't take you for the cautious sort.
Well, we're in Nod-Krai after all, and everybody is, to some degree, out to protect their own interests. Even if that interest is just the well-being of others.
Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a fae.
Don't worry, I won't say a thing.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
All right. Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
I've actually never heard of the Fae of Snezhnaya, so I literally don't have anything new to add to that conversation there.
It's getting late. The situation is urgent, but rest is vital. Good night, both of you.
But in any case, he's not the only, non-human person we've seen that just wants to be able to, blend in with humans and live among them. I mean, that's normally in the form of, our Archon friends, but still, I feel like there's another example I'm missing of somebody like Flynn's who is actually, well, Wanderer. Okay, besides the Archons and Wanderer, I guess, but nonetheless, examples showing that they might not be physically human, but still have human emotions and desires and experience sadness just like all of us. Oh, when I say Archons, I'm including Columbina, by the way. But yeah, I think we know a little bit more about him now, and hopefully we can clear his name because I'm fairly certain he's not the murderer. Okay. Horror. We did experience some horror today. We saw Rarier. Oh my, he was terrifying, I must say. But thankfully I didn't have to fight him. Aether fought him, and Aether is much better at this than me. Good job, Aether. Yeah, no, this was a good day for Aether fans. You were so cool. Alright. Looks like we will be handling a lot of problems and going to fight the Wild Hunt with Flynn's and Llama and Aino and Nefa and all of our new friends in the next episode. That's right, Aether. You get some sleep. But I will see you all in the next episode. Bye, everyone! Yay. Oh, one more thing. I should do the achievements. Achievements. Channels are king. That's right. That's when we were with Nefer. Every lantern casts its shadow. Light doesn't reveal good or evil, only the truth. So true. Witness an anecdote. Oh, witness an anecdote once. We talked with Yehoda. That's right. Okay. Bye-bye.